Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, is once again directed by Rian Johnson, and it stars Daniel Craig, Josh O'Connor, Glenn Close, Josh Brolin and Jeremy Renner. And in the third Knives Out movie, when a young priest is sent to assist charismatic firebrand Monsignor Jefferson Wicks, it's clear that not all is well in the pews. After a sudden and seemingly impossible murder rots the town, the lack of an obvious suspect prompts local police chief Geraldine Scott to join forces with renowned detective Benoit Blanc to unravel a mystery that defies all logic. So the Knives Out movies I absolutely love. I think the first one is absolutely amazing. I think the second one, Glass Onion, is super underrated, even though it's not as good as the original. So I was very much excited for Wake Up Dead Man. And after I saw the early reviews, I was even more excited. And yeah, I'm happy to say, it's good. It's really, really good. This is better than Glass Onion, but not as good as the original. And I explain my issues in a bit, but I really, really did enjoy this movie. And what I really appreciate about it is that it feels like the most simple Knives Out movie. It plays out like a very traditional murder mystery that we see all the time. And if this was maybe Glass Onion, I maybe would have not liked that. But I think because we've gotten so used to the formula, it's just a nice little change of pace for the series. But even though this movie does play out in a very simple manner, it still keeps the mystery and the thrill of the previous two films. We're introduced to this murder, which feels very, very impossible for someone to do. So it just keeps the thrill going. You have no idea who's behind this, how it would have played out, even though little bits and pieces are introduced there and there. Everyone has a reason for why they want to kill this man, but you just can't put your finger on who's behind it. And when the killer is eventually revealed, it makes sense, it's satisfying, and it led to this really, really powerful ending. The core theme of this movie is obviously religion, and we see people's different perspectives of it, especially Benoit Blanc, who kind of has a character arc in this movie, which I really, really appreciated. It also plays into what is basically the main character, Josh O'Connor, who plays this priest, and I really, really liked his character arc. And I like that it was developed really well in the quieter moments of this film, especially in this one scene where he's on the phone. That was probably my favourite scene in this movie. It's very simple, very quiet, very dialogue heavy, and it just really, really works. And that's another praise I want to give this movie, is that it balances the comedic tone and the serious tone. They don't clash together weirdly. They clash really, really well. And they led to some really, really good moments. This is probably the funniest Knives Out movie. The comedy really does hit. But it's easily probably the most emotional in the series as well. However, I did have a few issues with this movie. For one, I do think some of the supporting cast didn't really do anything, especially Cailee Spaeny's character. She really didn't have anything to do in this movie, and it's really, really disappointing because I really like Cailee Spaeny. She's a great actress, and she's just given nothing much to do here. And then you have other actors in there who have proven time and time again that they are very talented, and they just don't really do anything. They feel very, very wasted. I also think when the murder is actually solved, and Blanc does that usual thing where he tells the entire story in front of the audience, they jump to conclusions really, really quickly without no real evidence in there. So it kind of just feels like it came out of nowhere. So it just makes the mystery and the solving of it feel a little bit inconsistent at times. But despite a few narrative issues, I really had no issue with the narrative, the writing, the mystery. All of it was done really, really well. And I think the technical aspects of this movie are really, really strong too. Once again, I'm very, very annoyed that I didn't get to see this in a cinema. I saw Zootopia 2 instead, which, by the way, 8 out of 10 movie, really, really good. This movie just looks really, really beautiful. I love the way that they showcase the church, especially, how it's made out to be this gothic place. And I really like what they do with the sun to symbolise what the characters are feeling. Sometimes it'll fade away at this shot, and then a few days later it will rise out again. And I just thought that was really, really smart. I also really did like the music. Very classical, very violin orientated, but it still really, really works. And despite the hefty amount of information in this movie, I think the editors did a really, really good job at balancing the pacing of this movie, giving you all the answers that you need to understand the mystery in a really compact runtime. And finally, I think the acting overall was really, really strong. Once again, Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc, he's really, really great. So charismatic, so likeable, so funny. He's just absolutely brilliant as his character. I also really enjoyed Josh O'Connor as this priest. He is basically the main character, as I said, and he makes him really, really likeable, very charismatic. I very much enjoyed him in this movie. Josh Brolin as well was really, really strong in this movie. Made this guy do a sermon in a church. I swear to God, if you want people to get back into religion, make Josh Brolin do a sermon. I would pay to see him do that 100%. So in conclusion, Wake Up Dead Man, A Knives Out Mystery is another very, very strong entry into the franchise. It's easily my second favourite of the franchise. I do have a few issues with the characters and some of the mystery elements, but it is still a very, very fun time. It's got very strong characters, technically brilliant, acted really, really well, a very thrilling mystery. It's just a very, very good time, and if you love the previous movies, I don't think you'll have an issue getting into this one whatsoever. So Wake Up Dead Man is going to receive an 8.5 out of 10. However, what I will say now is that I kind of want Rian Johnson to put the brakes on this franchise for a little bit. Maybe do some other original work, because he is a director with so much range. Obviously, come back to this series if you want in the future, but I do think now we deserve a little bit of a break from it so the novelty doesn't wear off, and maybe see some more Rian Johnson in another genre. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed this review. If you have seen Wake Up Dead Man, do let me know your thoughts on it. Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Have a good day, and see you later.